TNJ, good morning. It's moan time. How are you on this beautiful Monday? It is Monday, July 10th, 8 a.m. Man, am I tired. I didn't sleep a lot last night. Kind of a kid before Christmas situation going on. I'm excited for today. We'll see what happens. You're doing well. I'm so glad. Any major occurrences this weekend? Anything that you did that you'd like to share with the public? I had a pretty nice weekend myself. A little different than usual. Oh, that's fantastic. A barbecue with friends on Saturday. I was worried that the weather would stay poor on Saturday, but I'm glad that it kind of turned around for us all. I hope your timing wasn't thrown off because of that. Well done. Was it David Moan inspired, or was it just because Ryan Reynolds is a god? I had a pretty good amount of aviation gin this weekend myself. Not as much as I maybe usually do. I didn't even, I don't think, drink on stream on Saturday. Trying something new. You know, I agree. Ryan Reynolds should be in every household. He's a man that deserves that sort of recognition. Have you have you heard anything about the new Deadpool movie? I know that details are pretty under wraps, but it looks like some of the first on-set photos are starting to be released. That's something that I need to figure out. Yeah, and he looks fantastic in it. I love him more than I'd like to admit. I'm excited to see how they pull it all together. Apparently they were filming in the woods somewhere, and a bunch of the in a mug. Typically, I take my coffee black. Actually, I'm one of those people that I like the extremes. Either I'm gonna have a nice cup of black coffee, or I want a fancy latte. Uh, I was on the fence about what to do this morning. Dirty bean water. That phrase always gets me. But you're absolutely right. It is pure black dirty bean water. Gives me a little pickup. Actually, I think I might be one of those people that coffee has the opposite effect, where I don't feel energized by it. Actually, sometimes I think I'm more tired after a cup of coffee. And the acidity, I know, isn't necessarily good for me. Um, yeah, I have the same thing. It doesn't do what I feel like it needs to. In high school, what was it? A show choir competition, I think it was. I had my first Red Bull. Uh, it was still pretty new, I think, at the time, or at least it wasn't the popular drink that it is now. And and I remember some of the upperclassmen. I was a sophomore. Some of the upperclassmen gave me a Red Bull, and I drank it, and I felt like my heart was going to explode. Like I had caffeinated items like tea and whatnot before, but never something quite so concentrated, and it literally felt like I was going to die. Uh, since then, you know, I'm okay. I read, no, it's just my camera. I need to figure out the camera settings here. maybe I will, uh, maybe I will hire one of our tech friends. I went through a phase where I liked them. Um, Specifically, what was it? Monster came out with uh, a lemonade-based drink, and that seemed fun. Um, and I drank it for a little bit, but then it was like, maybe I shouldn't. I gave a pop or soda, depending on what part of the country you're from. Which do you say, TNJ? I should have sprayed my hair. Um, are you a pop or a soda person? But I gave mine up in was it my junior year of high school? Just decided I don't want to drink it anymore. I love these just having conversation. This is delightful. I My hope is to come up with some sort of format. I'm sorry that I didn't offer fizzy drinks as an option. I think that's how I want to say it from now on. I prefer the word pop to soda as well. Um, Although again, you have changed my life with fizzy drinks. Uh-huh. So how do you know how do you know people from Chicago? Did they travel across the pond, or was that something were you visiting here? I think this is where it starts to get known that I don't always know who followers are by name. That's part of why I want these coffee hours. I wanna start like learning who people are. That was one of my favorite aspects of the radio station. Um Hi Jeremy, that is one I know. Hi Jeremy, how are you, man? I'm taking oh gosh, that looks terrible. I'm taking a note from your book and starting a little show. Mine's in the morning, so no competition. I miss you, sir. How are you? Okay, that's what I thought, but then I got nervous. I got nervous that that I forgot that if you were a person here. Oh wait, you were saying you met them through games. That makes total sense. What are your go-tos, TNJ? Jeremy, I'm so glad that you are here this early on my premiere show for Moanin in the Morning. I would like this to become something. I'm gonna miss talking to people on the radio. Um, because being on the radio was fun. Uh, my favorite part, though, truly, what was connecting with the community. Um, Back in the day, I was oh yeah, Black Ops. Nice. I started last September. Toward the middle of last September, I started, uh, and I jumped into weekends right away. I would do weekends from 6 to 10, and then when the programming director was like, "Oh, I like how you sound. I like the notes that you take. I like your show. Let's put you on 10 to 3, which was more of a thing on the weekends. That was a little bit better of a time slot. And I had been on there up until July 4th. July 4th was my last day on the radio. The new programming director over at the station didn't put me on for my final weekend, which is totally fine. Like, obviously it sucks, but yeah. So I found myself this weekend off the radio for the first time in like 9 months, and I missed it and was like, well, I have a Twitch channel. I might as well be here. I can bring segments and whatnot to Twitch. TNJ, are you playing anything currently? Oh, I bet my microphone's doing that weird buzzy thing. Give me 1 second. That's something that I hope will come with time. Is a more consistent setup, somewhere to have. I got a beautiful table with some natural light in the background. Um, be a nice place to have a cup of coffee with you all this morning. Yeah. Oh, fantastic! The new Tears of the Kingdom. Or are you still making your way through Breath of the Wild? Or are you going full retro, which is kind of what I prefer. Tears of the Kingdom, nice. I this was one of the things. It's a beautiful transition, but this was one of the articles that I was reading yesterday. Um, that's a lot of what's going to happen on here is discussions, nerdy discussions. I also have some other segments we'll try out. 100 hours in and 44% complete. That is crazy. This new one, Tears of the Kingdom, looks absurd to me. Like, I definitely I definitely understand its appeal. And some of the things that I thought I'd be more frustrated with Breath of the Wild, ended up not mattering as much. Like the weapon breaking system. That's not something that I typically love from a video game. I also, well, going back to this article, it was talking about the fact that it was hopeful. I'm going to rephrase it in my kinder words. It was hopeful that we get a more classic Zelda in the near future. That this change to the open world concept is actually detracting uh, from some of the things that made Zelda Zelda. Um, I played Breath of the Wild when it released and have memorized. Oh my gosh! So you, so you know Breath of the Wild's map, and it's supposedly for Tears of the Kingdom, sort of an overlay, right? Like, I guess this is something that I don't know nearly enough about, but the idea is that it's the same kingdom just at a different time. Um, while you're answering that, back to that article. Um, yeah, so the idea that the linear Zeldas, things like that, um, that it would be nice to get one of those. And honestly, that article resonated with me more than I expected it to. Oh, it's only 3 to 5 years after? Oh, okay. I gotta play it. I mean, I want to play it. There are lots of other games that I want to play too. Um, oh, that's fascinating that it's only 3 to 5 years, but it's so different. All right, no spoilers. Um, but I kind of miss or lament the fact that we don't have that Zelda where you go into a dungeon, you find an item in that dungeon, and that's the item that's going to help you defeat the big baddie in that dungeon. Um, the story is linear with side quests. I mean, I love side quests, the optional side quests that make it so that you can become the hero that you want to be. Um, Recently started playing Ocarina of Time again. Just what a fantastic game! I feel like that's the type of game. Um, it was in my formative years as a kid anyway, but that's the type of game that I search for. Was linked to the past. That is amazing. I mean, if you had to like stop at one, you picked a good one to like to go through. Jeremy, what are your go-to games? Like what's your style? I loved Twilight Princess. I loved Skyward Sword too. I wish the controls had been a little more fully realized, but Ashley, you are so correct. I did I make it off the plateau when we were playing? Oh, I didn't think so. How are you this morning? How was work? 16-bit all the way. Amazing. Um, I do love the 16-bit era. Yeah, it's a thing that gets us from A to Z. I'm going Canadian. Um, I we were playing Streets of Rage 2 last night. I don't know if that was on the Super Nintendo, but I had a Sega Genesis growing up. Um, which just what a great system. What a great system. Um, but Streets of Rage 2 is such an absurd, stupid game, and I love it so much. Um, it's like it's impossible to be bad, but I also feel like it's impossible to be good at that game, but it's so much fun. Recently got a RetroPie. That's awesome. Do you have any go-to Genesis games? Do you enjoy, it's such a fun time. I have not. What system is it on? And is it good? Oh, I forgot about Road Rash. That's the bike racing game, right? Ashley, what have you been playing of late? Do you have any go-tos? Trying to see if there what segments I want to not forget. Who knows? We'll get there. Um, the other article, and this is more a question. I don't know if anybody out there can answer this. What's a blockchain uh game? Or game based around blockchains? I was gonna do more research, but I found this one right before bed. Genesis, speaking of Sega, Genesis is talking about how with their perfect. I'm going to have to check out Streets of Rage 4. Let me pull that up now. Holy crap. It's definitely on Nintendo Switch. Well, I've got a new game to check out. Thank you for that, because Streets of Rage 2 has been fun. I've been enjoying playing as Max. He's the big guy. He's so slow, so lumbering. But I enjoy him very much. Yeah, coming back. There were several games, and then we'll get back to the article. Who cares if we don't, though? This is Moanin in the Morning. I need to come up with a theme song. I'm looking at the camera specifically. I need to come up with a theme song and perhaps a new opening graphic. Probably a better host would do. I'm thinking for now I'll at least do Monday mornings. Just a nice weekend recap, getting people into the I'm glad you smiled. Getting people into the week the right way. We'll see how it goes. Maybe it won't last. Maybe from 9 to 10 I'll do a kid teacher friendly so that my educator friends can pull me up on Twitch. And we'll have lots of chats. I don't know. I also feel like there's a little bit of a technological barrier that I need to figure out. Like, I wonder if I would get more connection if I was just on Facebook Live. You know, something like that. But I like this format. It continues to build the brand, and I like the interactiveness of it. I don't know. I'll figure that out. I am doing the Arkham streams. It's been hard lately to find the time to do that. Who knows? Maybe I'll do a quick hour later today. I don't like to double dip on the same day. But I am... Oh, I gotta get that tooth fixed. Just saw my teeth. Don't look at my teeth. I just fixed... I am still on Arkham Knight. Working through all of the AR challenges now. I'm finally down under 1,000 stars needed. Which, if you're just out there chatting, or watching, one of the things that I do on this channel is I play video games for strangers, and I like to play the Batman video games as I am a big Bat fan, and I've been working on fully completing the games, doing everything that you need to do in them, collecting all the collectibles, making sure that I get all the achievements, and now I'm on the fourth and final game of the series, and everything else is done except for these like practice maps where you use all the secondary characters. For every map, you get 3 stars, and so I have to get 3 stars for every character on every map that's available for, and it ends up being thousands of stars, and I need, I think, like 950 now, something like that. Yes, I have done Origins. My longest game, the game that took me the longest, although Arkham Knight has probably surpassed this now. But when I was consistently playing it, Arkham City took the longest because the final achievement was talking to Calendar Man, on every major holiday, and I didn't feel like cheating and changing my internal clock to do that. Um, Origins was probably the hardest. We'll see when I'm done with Night, but Origins was the hardest because of I Am the Night mode, um, which I still have yet to do. I Am the Night mode without like a little workaround. I Am the Night mode is essentially uh not it's a mode. Let's just use the word mode because that's in the title. It's a mode where you have to beat the game without dying, and if you die, it destroys your save file and you start from the beginning. And some of the mechanics in Origins are a little rough, and particularly for a console gamer like myself, not being able to use save states has been rough. But yeah, I technically did it. Rev, I didn't say good morning. Hello, good morning. Welcome to Moanin in the Morning. I hope that you're having a beautiful day. Oh, absolutely. That's a really big fight. And they hit you with it early. The only thing, the only like benefit that they give you in that particular one, oh, are you talking about in game or are you talking about the Riddler challenge? Because the one in game is tough. Like it's your first big fight in Arkham Origins. Yeah. Okay. It's your first big fight. Particularly if you're playing through it the first time, you don't necessarily have all the gadgets and whatnot, or combat methods that make it easier. They don't give you too many like weapons and things that you have to counter against. I don't know that they use the shield yet or the stun baton. It's been a little while since I've played it. But I can understand why that would give some struggle, for sure. But yeah, I loved the Arkham Origins game. It is consistently 4 out of 4 for me, in terms of my ranking of the Arkham games. But that to me is in part because it felt like DLC for Arkham City. It's not. It's too long to actually be DLC. It is its own full-fledged game. There just wasn't as much added to it in the way that Asylum moved to City, City moved to Night. Like, those are major transitions. The transition between City and Origins was minor. Fuchs, good morning. How are you? A long time no see. Welcome to Moanin in the Morning. Aesthetic of the Batman or the city? Or I guess all of it combined. It certainly has been too long. I feel like I haven't been around Twitch nearly as long enough. Or nearly enough lately. Both, yeah. Okay. So I like a lot of the character designs. I don't love what they did with the city because it feels so muted. I've been going back and watching the Batman movies with Sarah. And as we watch them, I realize that they've always had that industrial feel. They've always had those moments of like, oh, this is a city and this is like what's the word that I'm trying to, not archaic, but that it feels of a city, but there's always these pops of color or these pops of life. And that's what I feel was missing from Origins. In a way that like the big Vicky Vale sign in Arkham Knight, like having that, or the green lights popping up all over the place. Or in Arkham City, you had like the Maxi Zeus uh, hotel, where you've got that big, beautiful light. I liked that. Fuge, that's a beautiful way of putting it. Grit combined with splashes of hope. I think that's a great way to phrase that. Let's see, even though I know a different company made Origins, I think it would have been better if Origins came out first. Sure, yeah. I think it would have had more of an impact if that had transitioned us to Arkham Knight. Now, what I will say of Origins, y'all have got me passionate. The Bat Talk is going to have to be a segment on Moanin in the Morning. It always will be. But with Arkham Origins, it has the best boss battles in the series. I really believe that, or at least the most unique. Thinking about Arkham City, other than Mr. Freeze, what boss battles do we have to write home about? Arkham Asylum had Poison Ivy, but otherwise it was just Titan battle after Titan battle. Arkham Knight had too many missed opportunities to consider it good boss battles. But Arkham Origins really let the creativity run. And maybe that was a little bit because they knew they were a tangent game. Yeah, but I do really appreciate those boss battles. Maybe I should go back at some point soon. It's hard to transition from Knight back to the earlier games. It's not impossible. I always find that it takes me a little while to get back into Arkham Knight, because there are things that you can do in City, even in Asylum, that they changed slightly as they got into the last game, and it makes it so that there are some exploits, I guess I should say. But it's great. Speaking on Batman, anybody seen The Flash? I have yet to see it. Instead, Sarah and I took Ellie to see, what is that? What's her name? Ruby Gimbal? Teenage Kraken? Ellie liked it. Annie Murphy's in it. That's fun. Great, TNJ. I'm glad to hear that. I still would really like to see it. Oh, fantastic. Yeah, it was one of those. I think had it been a true Batman movie and Batman not just like secondary character, or at least that's how it felt, I probably would have had a little more drive to see it. But I don't know, with so many of these, like, so many of the DCU, I don't know, I haven't felt as compelled. Maybe that's age, maybe that's advertising. 'Tis what it is. Well, Fuchsia will have to let me know, how have streams been going for you? I feel like I see the pop-ups after your streams are over. Oh, got a text message coming in. They do? I'm technically a teacher. Buona donna. Good morning. I. You said it? And I was like, I know that name. How are you, darling? How was your weekend? Did you end up getting to the movies? How's the puppy? I have so many questions. Oh, I'm so glad, Fuchsia. Are you still doing a lot of Star Wars content? Daff, hello, long time no chat. How are you this morning? Thanks for tuning in for Moanin in the Mornin. Oh, I'm so glad to hear that. I felt bad that my schedule didn't quite allow for me to puppy sit because man, oh man, is that puppy a cutie? Ugh. That's wonderful. That is so great to hear. It's something that I'm looking forward to getting back into. Um, I waking up in the morning definitely takes some getting used to, but these early hours, I was waking up some mornings at 3 a.m. to get ready for some of the radio work, and even when I was on the radio, I was still waking up at 6:30, 7 o'clock. Um, so it made me realize that it was okay to like wake up a little earlier. Obviously, there's a learning curve and adjustment. I was like, if I can do that, yeah, 3 a.m. Oh, Marlene, we're gonna talk about that because I gotta send some good energy and love. Um, love making connections. Um, but I was like, I can be up at 8 o'clock. I mean, in the summer here, I'm in an hour and a half. I'm gonna be over at the Encore in Dexter to do some summer camp. Um, I was like, might as well. And I love the playing games for people on here. Just getting to sit and talk is really nice. Um, and I've got bits and whatnot from my radio show that I can steal. I'm so sorry that puppy had a rough night. That's awful. Just its little snoot. Oh, that breaks my heart. Is he okay this morning? A little shaken. It is for Michigan people, especially Michigan theater people. Look up Marlene. We are. I don't want to give last name without consent, but Marlene is an incredible performer, um, an exceptional teacher. Teaches private voice here in Dexter. Just all around wonderful human being, and has the cutest puppy on the planet. It's a little corgi puppy named Darwin. Absolutely adore. James, how are you? Do you have any performances going up on the horizon? This is one of the habits in radio work that I should have realized. But because you get so much downtime in radio, you spend a lot of time on your phone. I've done so many like Sudokus and whatnot while like, and here's Morgan Wallen on the radio. um, oh, you're in Desperate Measures. Fantastic. Congratulations. Tell us when that is. Get that out there. um, I can certainly send you some resources. Uh, I mean, you remember how much my southern accent would come and go. Or rather, I would stumble. Oh, that is the cutest. A Kong filled with peanut butter and snuggles. Aww. Wonderful. Marlene Inman. Uh, you definitely, you definitely need to follow Marlene. Um, like I said, just a wonderful performer, incredible educator, and yeah, I feel like a great beacon in our theater community here in Southeast Michigan. Actually, that's one of the things that I love seeing in my chat this morning is so many great performers. Uh, Jeremy and I, we have not performed together in a very long time, but it's still in my bio that that Jeremy and I are a musical improv duo. Torch Song. We have a couple of things up on YouTube. I need to start resharing those. Um, oh, thank you, Marlene. And James and I. Well, I think Assassins was our first show together. But you're gonna be amazing, James, and I appreciate it. I miss John Wilkes Booth. I would gladly do that show for the rest of my life if given the opportunity. Um, James has been performing around here a ton. Just finished a couple months ago a return of a production of Rent. Jeremy, are you working on anything right now? Oh, and I just got text message. Good morning, Sarah. Sarah B. Stevens, who needs no introduction. Ah, oh, Assassins truly it was an unbelievable group of people. I'm gonna pour coffee. You know, I've been very lucky. Um, I've been very lucky with shows. I feel like there are performers who go their entire lives who never get the chance to have those kind of life-changing performances. Performances that are not only critically renowned, but also have such an impactful group of people participating that it really is. It shapes everything from thereafter. And I feel like I've been in like 3 or 4 of those shows. Um, which you know I'm certainly getting up there, but you know I'd like to think that I have more time to come. But man, Assassins was a lucky one. Sweeney Todd was another. Um, yeah, there have been several with the opera that have felt like that. But good morning, Ellie. I hope that you slept well. Oh, good. I'm glad that you're teaching, Jeremy. How much longer do you have in school? Um, is it one more semester and you'll graduate? I'm proud of you, man. Not necessarily an easy thing to do. Fuchs, what do you have going on if you're still out there? What do you have going on theater-wise? That's very much a segment that I want to start having here with Moanin in the morning. We'll see. Some days it might have to be longer than an hour. Hopefully my... Hey! You can do it. I know our schedules are both super crazy, but if we ever want to get together for a rehearsal / math tutoring, I really love math. Hey, that it's understandable. You've gotta choose. Um, yeah. Well, I mean, hey, I'm glad that you found your community. Like Marlene said, um, when you've got a great company around you, um, whether that be in person or on a computer screen. Um, oh, that's so cool. I need to start making more time to get into shows. Into streams, I mean. Yeah, Jeremy, I'm in rehearsals for Hello Dolly right now. Um I'm with you on that, Marlene. Um I do Star Wars book talk. That's so cool. We'll see what Moanin in the Morning becomes. I have so many ideas, segments, and I like the idea of talking about local, right? Ashley, do you have any shows coming up? I'm trying to think. A lot of people right now are more the Ann Arbor theater scene, but Ashley is pretty active in lately Grosse Point. Oh, you're at the Croswell? Never mind. That goes against literally everything I was about to say, because that's in our neck of the woods. Oh, that's fantastic. Who are you playing at the Croswell? What a fun show. Fuchs, do you do like dramatic interpretations of hey, that's great. What a good show to be a part of. Oh, Sarah. Yeah, oh my gosh. Follow Fuchs. Follow Fuchs. Um well, that's great. I'm glad you're getting that opportunity, Ashley. And then you said that starts next week. When does that run? Give us the dates. James gave us dates for the Dio show. I'm scrolling back up. August 18th to late to September. Jeremy, I love you, dude. Feel free to send me a message. We'll figure out a time we can rehearse, and I would love to get a performance up and going. Great, September 15th through the 24th. That is very much a thing that I want to become, like, especially for my local group. You know, I want people around the world, like TNJ, to feel free to join in too. But I really want to plug local theater on this. Oh, Fuchs, I love that. That's fantastic. Yeah, I'll have to tune in sometime. It's been hard to juggle. I'm in rehearsals. I've only had two so far, but for Hello Dolly, and the drive is so much. It's gonna be worth it. It's gonna be a cute show. We blocked the show yesterday, just kind of loose blocking. I feel about a third memorized. Um, they asked us to be memorized, kind of off book before we got there. Nobody is at that point, so I felt a little better. I'm still gonna try to by the beginning of next week. I've only got two more rehearsals this week, but by the beginning of next week to be completely off book. It's not the hardest. It's a golden age musical. Like, the hardest thing to memorize are the songs. And Cornelius has like three little monologues, but Marlene, yesterday was a light traffic day, and it took me an hour and 50 minutes. I think I should be getting a mileage stipend But man. Fuchs, that is so cool. Post Jedi expanded universe. I understand all of those words individually. It's when we put them together that I'm a little confused, but I'm really excited for you. Oh, she is the exception to like all Golden Age. I feel like Harold Hill is an exception to that too. Uh there are a couple of those Golden Age roles where it's just nonstop. But Cornelius is more typical. Oh, so complicated. We I've discussed this with a bunch of people, but I feel like my memorization ability is going a little bit. I feel like my brain just doesn't do quite what it needs to anymore. Oh, okay. So these are the not declassified, decanonified. The ones no longer in canon because they were like, we need to make a Star Wars universe and Chewie can't be dead. It's in rhyming iambic pentameter? What? Well, that's fun. I I had a little bit of that with the wolf in Little Red Riding Hood. That was the children's opera that we were doing with Detroit Opera, and it wasn't iambic pentameter, but everything was rhyming couplets. And there were some of those that I was like, I know what I'm supposed to rhyme with, but what word could possibly fit here? Um, that'll be so much fun though, James. Oh, Marlene, thank you for the support. I I also feel like post COVID, it's a muscle that I haven't been working as much. Like I feel like my ability to jog and my memorization all went. Um, yeah, that I still am in the habit where I run. I don't do it nearly as much as I used to, but for a while there, I would run every show the before it was performed. So like doing Assassins, I would be driving the hour or so to get to the encore and it'd be like, okay, here's my all right, I'm going through Ronald Reagan. Great. Yep. And then Sweeney Todd would take me the entire drive because I'd go through every lyric. Um, Wednesdays at 4:30. Book talk starts at 6. That's a great way to do that. I haven't done Shakespeare in years. I kind of miss it. Getting to direct Shakespeare a couple years ago at the high school was so much fun because it's literally like a foreign language. Um, where you have to know what each individual word means, what the purpose of the text is, in order to properly perform it. And I feel like I got my high schoolers at least part of the way there. Um, oh, absolutely, sometimes more than once. There's some I need to take some notes maybe, but there are some tech things I want to get the chat added to my stream because I want to post these to YouTube and then, potentially to Facebook and whatnot so that people can watch them after the fact. Uh so I want the chat up there. I got to remember to do that. Oh, me too. Me too, Sarah. I mean, we've been on stage together when we've had strokes. um, this is the most delightful way to spend a morning. Um, I had stuff planned. Not a ton. Um, I feel like a lot of people I know can say that of Keith too. It's so cool to be on stage with a partner, particularly when you're running lines so much like that, Marlene. I'm sure it made for the best of situation. Oh, he's one of my favorites. I had a couple of those when I did an act of God at the Dio. Um, and it's essentially a 90-minute monologue. There were two other people in the show, but they had these like interjections a little bit. Um, like if I spoke for 85 minutes, their stuff took 5. And I'd be like, "Oh, I forgot this detail here, but that sets up a joke, so I need to put this in there." Um, yeah, it was so much fun. God, I miss it. There were those actors where it feels like they know everyone's part. Oh, absolutely. I used to be like that. Um, Maybe I'll get back to that point. Um, I feel like if I was a better dancer, I could be a swing. But or at least I used to be able to. Well, Marlene, I think you're incredible too. Truly. Yeah, and I would love to see your cabaret, whatever that may be. Things are still kind of in transition, but maybe I'll have more on that in the future. Oh my gosh, thank you for coming in. Now forgive me for not knowing based on your name. Tell me who you are and where you're from. Right? Marlene, that is a struggle that I'm having now. I need to buy you coffee or a warm beverage. Oh my gosh, of course it is. Hello. We haven't talked in so long. So many good memories there. Yeah, we'll make sure to figure that out for you, Marlene. Even if it's just a little bit of cutting down. I would love that very much. And because I'm struggling in getting a voice studio started and still being like so performance focused. Man, it's tough. Fuchs, I am so glad that you stopped by. I'm gonna have to sign off soon because speaking of teaching, I gotta go over to the Encore Musical Theater Company. We're given uh, we're given a summer camp, and the high schoolers are here today. I gotta make sure that music is prepped for what are we teaching today? The audition from. Oh, you do? Fantastic. I'm excited because they brought me in part so that I could do some actual like coachings on music. Didn't happen with the little kids. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. But Fuchs, thanks so much for stopping by. Um, you know, I think on Wednesday I'll be driving. So I won't be able to like chat, but I could at least lurk on your stream. I'm trying to remember. Sheila, I'm so glad to have have made you laugh. That pops into my head every once in a while and floors me. I'm excited. The attendance is a little bit lower for the high school summer camp. It's closer to the original cap, which will actually be nicer. I like to give that one-on-one attention. We're doing some ambitious stuff this week. Some big harmonies, some big dance numbers. Fingers crossed. Yeah, it really is. I've been lucky enough to be able to get some good one-on-one. I'm excited. We're doing chorus line first thing. Lucy, who if you are in the local theater scene, Lucy's just one of those wonderful spirits. Lucy is our dance person, and we'll be teaching that this morning. I was up editing music last night, and I think we've got a good cut. It's hard. I don't play piano, and I feel like a lot of places want somebody who can do both, play the piano and teach the voice. And it's that Venn diagram is thin. Ooh, TNJ, this is a great way to end our day. This is I think this is a discussion that I would love everybody in the chat to comment on. What's your favorite movie based on a theater show? Thank you, Marlene. I feel the same. Whether that be a vocal director or in a camp situation, having somebody that gets it, you need it. So everybody, to end, because my first Moanin in the Morning is about to come to an end. I didn't do any of the segments that I thought I would do. Who knows? Maybe it just becomes literal talking. But what's your favorite movie based on a theater show? This is really good. I'm gonna give my answer as people are thinking about it. And there were lots of different possibilities for this. I think the first one that comes to mind is Chicago. And that's because when it came out, I was in high school when it came out. I was like learning to love musical theater again at that point. The cast is pretty fantastic. Showboat over and over again. Oh, I loved it. You tried to show your class at school? That's hilarious. Oh my gosh. The OG Annie? Oh, yeah. Anything with Tim Curry. I said Chicago. Rocky Horror Picture Show. I started watching that show before I was making memories. Can we all talk about the fact that, like, it's a movie that's so good that Bernadette Peters will be, like, a third-tier character in it? In this one-man show that I have been writing for years, and who knows if it'll ever get finished, I do a Rocky Horror Picture Show medley because I love that show so much. I would love to do that show at some point. Who knows if it'll happen? Anybody else have a TNJ? Do you have a favorite movie based on a theater show? Oh, Tick Tick Boom was fantastic. Andrew Garfield did such a good job in that movie, like specifically playing the character. Sarah, thanks for stopping by. I'll be texting you like immediately. Oh, it's not hers, Marlene. Yeah, Tick Tick Boom was fantastic. I love the song Therapy. I sang that one in a cabaret years ago. It's so much fun. What a great maybe that's something that I integrate into this is a question that people can answer like that. A discussion each Moanin in the morning. As of right now, I'm only going to do this on Mondays. It's something that I'd like to build to. I say that, and already I'm like, well, maybe on Wednesday this week or something. I don't know. Watch for, if you don't follow me on Facebook or Instagram, please do. I'm David Moan on those. I think I'm David Moan on Instagram. I'm David M. Moan on Instagram. James, I don't know. I don't know if you're serious, but I like it. Cats. Moanin' on Monday Moanins with your host David M. Moan. I like talking. It was sad to feel compelled to leave the radio. But it was time, and I'm looking forward to taking the lessons and the passions that I developed there into something new. I'd like to bring David Moan's Not So Dirty Word into this format. I used to do nerd news every episode. That's kind of what it becomes anyway. But honestly, the thing I think that I'm most excited about is that I actually get to talk to you all. It's not a one-sided conversation. Obviously, my voice is the one being heard, and I'm reading text, but it's closer to where I want to be. And I don't know, local performers, start thinking about the fact that I'd kind of like to have people in some mornings, particularly if you've got a show coming up. Hey, I honestly, I love the content as it is. Taking people where they are, talking about the things that people want to talk about. It'll just be nice because I have a couple in my back pocket. Or that's not a bad way to do it. Or I have some scheduled moments of like, hey, I'm going to take a break from the conversation to do I love fortune cookies, so like I used to do a fortune for the week. Give people something to ruminate on, that sort of thing. But it's nice to just get to sit, not playing a video game, to just get to chat. And then I'm excited to see what this could become. Lots of things to go, but man, do I feel encouraged after a first one of these. So if you get ideas of things, or like if you've got something that you'd like to talk about, or you've got a show coming up, reach out to me on social media. You can whisper me on here, but I still don't typically understand. Ashley, that's a great idea. Get rid of some of those things early. It's a way to to get through the early conversation. Oh, I like that a lot. But please, if you've got ideas or things, who knows if I'll use them, but I would like this to become a communal space, kind of build to something fun. Yeah. So I'll be back on. That's true. Well, and once it's a habit, people will be able to say like, yeah, when I'm getting ready for work on Monday mornings at 8 a.m., I'll tune in to Moanin' in the morning. And then if I get enough people, maybe it'll become a daily thing. I don't want to put the cart before the horse, although that is definitely my style. But yeah, so many cool things to come. There's a chance that I will stream some Batman content later this week. thinking about my schedule, it might have to be this afternoon. Just, look for the updates, and no pressure to tune in then. But I would love to have you back next Monday from 8 to 9 from Moanin in the Morning. I appreciate all of your encouragement. I appreciate your conversation, and just know that, that I am very grateful to have you in my life. Unfortunately, I need to go teach the next generation. Thank you, James, for that. Thank you, Marlene. TNJ, thank you so much for tuning in. Ashley, I'm so glad that you were here. I can't wait to hear of things to come. To people who have already left Fuse, Jeremy, Sarah, thank you all for tuning in. And I can't wait to see you next time, because as always, I am David Moan. You are wonderful, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.